Welcome to a new planetary and seismic update. On the SGI graph, we see the typical clustering of stronger earthquakes, mid to high 5 magnitude earthquakes. We had a cluster on the 13th and 14th following the lunar geometry, and it peaked magnitude 6 at the Kuril Islands, just north of Japan. And we also had a cluster on the 18th and 19th, peaking magnitude 5.9, borderline 6, off the coast of Hokkaido, Japan, and another 6.1 off the coast of Hokkaido, Japan, later on the 21st. So from the 19th to the 21st was considered more critical because of the lunar geometry and also the planetary conjunctions with Mercury. These are the red peaks. But it wasn't all that much, though. It didn't go into the mid or high 6 magnitude range. We look at the next time frame from the 21st to the 30th, and it's going to be a critical time frame, probably with seismic activity above average. We have convergence of lunar geometry and we have convergence of planetary geometry. First, as today, we have Earth, Moon, Venus, and that converges with semi-right angle geometry with Saturn, with Neptune, and with Jupiter. And these are the ingredients for potential mid to high 6 magnitude earthquakes. That could be around the 21st, 24th. It's followed by Earth, Moon, Uranus a day later. So I expect this clustering of strong earthquakes, mid to high 5 magnitude earthquakes on the 23rd and the 24th. And there could be a mid to high 6 magnitude earthquake in there, especially because of this convergence of lunar geometry on the 22nd. We have a new moon coming up, and there's also a convergence going on. Earth, Sun, Jupiter on the 24th. Then we have Earth, Moon, Sun. That's the new moon. And that converges with Earth, Moon, Jupiter, because Earth, Sun, Jupiter are next to the new moon. That means that the moon will also align with Jupiter, and that happens on the 23rd. And it converges with right angle geometry of Saturn and Neptune, and it is also followed by semi-right angle geometry, lunar geometry, that's what we're talking about, with Uranus and with Mars. So from the 24th to the 25th, that's around the 25th, this is the new moon period. We have a convergence there, and it could be an obvious seismic response following that geometry. That's on the 26th and the 27th. It could go into the 6 magnitude range, and that's especially because of the planetary conjunction with Jupiter converging with the new moon. Then we're going to enter a very critical time. It starts with Mars, Venus, Saturn on the 26th, but more importantly, we have tight convergence of planetary conjunctions coming up on the 28th, the 29th, and the 30th. And this is because we have a near quadruple conjunction coming up there. If we look at the solar system, we see this quadruple conjunction here with Mars, Mercury, Venus, and Neptune. And we also have Mars, Mercury, Venus, and we have Mercury, Venus, Saturn, and also Mars, Venus, Saturn, like I said. So we have quite some planetary conjunctions coming up, involving both Mercury and Venus, and also Mars. And we see the green line on top of that. That's the lunar conjunction with Mars at the same time. This is going to be an extremely critical time. Back to the SGI graph, we see these planetary conjunctions. Like I said, Mars, Mercury, Neptune, Mercury, Venus, Saturn, Mercury, Venus, Neptune, Venus, Mercury, Mars, Mars, Venus, Neptune, and the convergence with the lunar conjunction with Mars as well. These are the ingredients of very large seismic activity, mid to high 7 easily. We could have 1 or 2 magnitude 7 earthquakes following this geometry. It could also easily go over 8 magnitude and even approach magnitude 9. And but that's the really worst case scenario. It very much depends on the stress levels in Earth's crust, whether or not there is a large fault section which has reached the tipping point. And whether or not that is the case, we don't know. But we do know that this kind of convergence of planetary lunar geometry can trigger very large seismic activity. In fact, if you look at the largest earthquakes on record in 1960, magnitude 9.5, and in 1964, 9.2 in Alaska, they all coincided with a lunar conjunction with Mars. And if you look at 1964, the 9.2 in Alaska, there was also Mars, Mercury, Venus in a conjunction with an outer planet. At the time it was with Uranus, and now it is with Neptune. It's not the same, but it is critical. So that's why I say it could easily go over 8 magnitude and maybe even worse. And if you look at the SGI graph here, the most critical time, I think it's as early as the 30th of June, but especially the 1st and the 2nd of July, maybe the 3rd. Because on the 2nd of July, we're going to have lunar conjunctions again. So that's why we could include the 3rd there. But looking at this convergence and the lunar conjunction with Mars, we should pay attention on the 30th of June and in particular the 1st and the 2nd of July. If you are in an earthquake-prone area, be on extra alert. Subduction zones, especially around the Pacific, are critical, but also where you wouldn't expect it so easily, off the coast of Portugal. There's also between Portugal and the Azores, there is also a fault. There can be a very large seismic activity. And in the Mediterranean, that's near Crete, if we look at history, there have been very large earthquakes. And also New Zealand, along the east side of North Island, New Zealand, there is also a subduction zone. To name a few, the Himalayan mountain range, there can also be very large seismic activity. So again, if you are in an earthquake-prone area, be on extra alert in those days, 30th, 1st and 2nd of July. We don't know exactly where larger seismic activity is going to occur. We cannot look into the Earth's crust. So have an earthquake plan and be on extra alert. Check out the latest updates on the website and in our social media channels and pages. This is the update for now. Stay safe. Until next time.